Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. This video is going to contain my first ever co-op clear of Legend difficulty of Lilith's Encroaching Shadow. This was the first of the Legend difficulty Sinister Dominion battles, and it was our first ever Sinister Dominion battle overall. I wanted to finally take on these challenges in co-op play, and so that's what I'm planning to do between now and the end of service for Dragalia Lost at the end of November. This run that ended up being our first clear here was not my best showing necessarily. Took some damage early on, obviously, with those candy showers. Not the finest start to my Summer Ieyasu play here or anything like that, but it's funny how sometimes the runs that don't seem to be going the smoothest also end up being the ones that work out and end up with that first clear. So that's what happened this time around. This fight, having released before the Primal Dragons, is really balanced in such a way that you could use Agito weapons and clear this, even though the boost from Agito weapons is nullified by Curse of Nihility. So being able to go back to this with access to Primal Dragon weapons and newer characters who have access to lots of buffs via amps, like Gala Emil for example, definitely makes this battle a lot easier. I found this to be pretty tanky and kind of a slog in solo play when I took it on at the time, and granted, the team I was using was a little bit underpowered, was trying to use some of my favorite units like Sharpshooter Cerise, but doing this in co-op with a slightly more optimized team, it definitely makes things a lot easier. I'm probably the weakest link on our team here as Summer Ieyasu because he's not really that great of a character. He's very fun to play. He does enable bleed, and he does enable a max team amp of level 3 for strength, but Gala Mascula already does that, so that aspect of his kit is not really being utilized here. He is able to provide Frostbite, but Gala Emil is also able to do that with shared skills. So really, I'm kind of the weak link here on the team, but was still nice to be able to play this character because it's a character I really like and enjoy to use and just feel comfortable with. And with this type of fight, with there not being a whole lot of pressure as far as the amount of damage that you have to deal and so on, it's nice to be able to take this on with a familiar character. And I would imagine if you're using like a Gala Elisan on your team, probably even more comfortable and cozy in the first half, less susceptibility to just accidentally dying to stuff, especially with a dragon like Ciela, who I happen to not be running, but one like Ciela that reduces your defense. So if you haven't taken this on yet, I think if you've done some of the Primal Dragon trials, at least in co-op, you certainly could go back and do this. I would imagine in solo play too. Co-op might be a little harder just because there's not a whole lot of incentive to really farm out or grind these battles. So a lot of people have tended to just pursue them like I did and just do one clear and then kind of be done with them and retire from that fight. Thankfully, over on the Discord for this channel, was able to find some people to team up with to take this on, so big thank you to all of them. I've been getting a lot of help trying to clear out the rest of the endgame fights over there every weekend or so that's been a blast. Now we move on to phase 2 of this fight, where we're using our light adventurers, have Chronos Nyx, but there's also a lot of defensive buffs that you'll see Lilith stacking, and I also, being a Dispeller on my team here with Halloween Laxi, want to make sure that I'm applying a sufficient amount of Dispel so that I don't get into my dragon form and be locked out of really using my skills to Dispel. So that's kind of my plan here, is to mostly just stay as Laxi and just kind of play through this safely. We got through this fight a lot of times to the end and just accidentally one person would die or something like that, and or at the beginning a few times as the attempts went on and maybe we got a little bit more loose and a little bit sloppier with our play. So really, I think at this point we're ready to clear, pretty confident if everybody just survives, we should be fine. So I wasn't trying to do anything fancy or, try really push my rotations or get greedy. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't die accidentally. That move there, you have to follow the pattern that Lilith throws out, the spinning stickers, I think they might be called, something like that. And then this one here, of course, with the different patterns of shapes, you have to memorize the order of those patterns, and then when the caramelized sweets are summoned, you have to destroy the sweets in the appropriate order, otherwise it'll wipe out your team. got a little dangerous here, accidentally targeted the square or the cube instead of the triangle or the pyramid there. Not on purpose, but just because of the long range of the rapid fire Manicaster that Halloween Lexi has. So thankfully didn't do enough damage to destroy it before the pyramid was destroyed, so kind of lucky there. One thing I still feel about this fight compared to, well, a lot of fights actually have this attribute nowadays, as I'm kind of stranded on the side here, decided to go around. But there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of times when, you know, Lilith is not accessible to be attacked. She's kind of doing a more elaborate move. You can't really hit her. You just have to kind of dodge and maneuver around the arena. So that's one thing that can make these fights feel a little bit longer. I guess now that I think about it, Lilith is not particularly guilty of this compared to like Iblis, for example. Iblis does several moves where Iblis will just kind of go off and you can't really attack. Ayahan de Tilha, of course, kind of famous for this, have a couple moves where they just float up off the screen. So yeah, I guess it's not really a unique thing here to Lilith, but it's something that stands out. And Lilith was an interesting one, having introduced Corrosion and Nihility. I kind of feel like she, in some ways, didn't really get her own unique mechanics relative to some of the uniqueness that we see with the other Sinister Dominion battles. But we get to the end here, Sweet Circle. This can be dangerous if people don't know the patterns, and I decided to go for a finishing blow with my Chronos Nyx, and thankfully that was enough to get the clear, get the victory over Lilith. That is pretty much going to do it for today, everybody. Had a lot of fun checking out this trial. Expect some more endgame content in the coming weeks. Up next, I think I'm going to post my video of Zodiark because I was able to clear that, and probably will follow that up with a video of Primal Jupiter. And then from there, there's 4 more Legend Sinister Dominion trials left, and 1 more Primal Dragon trial left, Primal Midgard Swarmer, who I'm going to try save for my last clear in Dragalia Lost. That is going to do it for today, though, everybody. So thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.